As a wife, you're not supposed to check your husband's phone. A man's phone is like onions. Let me declare 50% and keep 50% because I have a project. I have side chicks. There's something secretive in my phone. So our password is such that I cannot have access to it.
Have you bothered to look at yourself? Would you marry you if you bring yourself and put yourself like this? Would you marry you? Then you score that.
Good day, viewers. You're welcome to Israel's Praise. So my name is Israel, and
My name is Praise.
so that's my wife.
Thank you for tuning in.
All right. So today, we want to talk about secrecy in marriage.
Yes.
What do you think are the reasons why a spouse is secretive in a relationship that is supposed to be open? Open. So, like, my phone. Now, I'll give you an example. My phone has a password you don't know, or maybe your phone has a password I don't know.
Yeah.
So, what do you think are the reasons why a spouse or spouses are secretive?
Or must there be? Because some people come into marriage with that thing of this is my thing.
What do you mean by this is my thing?
Like something like he mustn't check this, he mustn't do this, he mustn't come to
Okay,
my
like boundaries.
space. Like boundaries.
You have created boundaries.
Boundaries,
in
yes.
marriage.
Boundaries in marriage. Are there
listen.
supposed to be boundaries in marriage?
So there's not supposed to be
Or
any
what do we
boundary.
define as boundaries in marriage? Because sometimes when we call boundaries, you understand, we probably may be talking about offense. No. In this premise, what we're talking about is
Being secretive.
being secretive. Are there supposed to be boundaries? This is the way I do my thing. Or am I free to come into your space whenever I want to?
Let's use phone.
Okay.
Yes, we live in a technology-driven generation where everybody has devices now.
Yes.
So social life is now digital. Social life is now digital. So 80% of everything we do is on our devices.
Yeah.
So I'm chatting away on my phone, and then you just came out excitedly, and and immediately I noticed you. I did like
There
this.
is a
Or maybe my phone is
each time you
passworded.
want to talk, you excuse yourself.
Yes. So you and I know that it's not ideal. It's not supposed to be in a relationship. So what could be the reason?
And you're not excusing yourself because maybe there's something happening here. You don't want to disturb. You just a habit.
It will always be clear. It will be clear if something is happening here and you're excusing yourself. It will be clear. I'm not just that. Here there's a distracting noise. Maybe I'm talking to my boss or somebody, so I want to go away. If a partner in the relationship is acting up, it's always clear that why are you being secretive? So what could be the reason? I think we're looking at what could be the reasons why somebody coming into marriage or somebody who is in marriage already has such boundaries where she's not permitted to check my phone. Like you hear most people say that a regular term out there, a regular street term is, as a wife, you're not supposed to check your husband's phone because
make your eyes no bleed.
you say a man's phone is like onions, so you cannot open it and not cry. You must open it and you will cry. So yes, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me in the comment section. A lot of guys are going to say,
if you disagree, put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Let me switch it to the Bible. The Bible says, for this same reason, the man will leave his father and his mother and cling to his wife. The idea of marriage is that these two persons now, they are one. These two individuals, they are one. They become one person. So if I am one, like for example, now let me put it this way: can I password my phone away from me? For example, there's something secretive in my phone. So our password is such that I cannot have access to it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm passwording my phone
so
to lock myself away.
Cannot have access
because
to it.
I am me.
Yes.
So, but because I think a lot of people don't understand that your spouse is you.
I think that's where we should come from. Looking at the one who created the institution called marriage. Those were the things he actually put in place. Because if you want to, you go to a manufacturer, maybe like Sony Ericsson, you have to go to the company to go and get to know what it is. Maybe you want to understand their product, but then you want to understand the institution called marriage. It is God actually. He was the one that created it, and he had put it in the manual the only manual he left with us. And he said, two shall become
Shall become one.
one.
Shall become one.
Yes, shall become one. Yes.
So, in other words, what you're saying is like the way I look at it is, I think because a lot of people don't understand the fundamentality, if there's anything like that, the fundamental principle about marriage. So they bring in a lot of things into
Marriage,
that space.
yes.
Like you said a while ago, that you're coming into marriage, you already created boundary. You already coming with bags of secrets. For example,
Yeah.
oh, I have this land over there. He's not supposed to know. I think this happens with the ladies more. There's ladies who don't understand the principles of marriage, so you see them
I think it's both.
both ways.
Sorry
Okay.
to differ.
Okay.
It's the individual,
It's individual.
how they understand marriage. A lot of people, I want to be married, but they don't know that it's something you have to learn deliberately. You have to learn to live with the next person. Have you bothered to look at yourself? Would you marry you? If you bring yourself and put yourself like this, would you marry you? If then you score that, So those are the things you have to check when you're coming in. Talking about this secrecy, this passwording our phones and all that.
Or keeping things away.
Or keeping not informing your spouse.
Your partner.
Just keeping it away. Say, like some people say, I mustn't tell my husband. I mustn't tell my wife. I tell her now.
Or maybe there's a deal, you involved in a deal and suddenly money came in, you say, I'm not gonna tell my wife.
And there's also this thing of, if you tell your wife, I've heard men say that she'll become demanding.
But such things happen though.
They happen now.
Now, because there has to be a balance. You know what I say? Like this thing you pointed out now. I used to say this to people. I say the thing about marriage is this: there is no
one way to it.
What's the English word? They say no. There's no one way to it. In other words, if you say this is the format, now for example, it has to do with the individual you are married to. If you have, like for example, now you're an amazing person, such that there's sometimes I will declare money to you, and then it's not as if you're not extravagant, you're not demanding, so to say. It's only when there are important needs, when there are very, very important needs. But I'm looking at a situation where what could make a man say, apart from a man who has a character of, in fact, there's a lot of things to this. There's a lot to this. Because I'm hearing a lot in my head. Now, part A is this. This guy has projects, extramarital projects he's handling, he's running. We're looking at the reason why the man or any partner, both male or female, gets a certain fund.
Yeah.
I say, okay, let me declare 50% and keep 50% because I have a project. I have side chicks. Same can be for the lady too. So because of that, he or she declares half. Then a side B can be the guy is fine or the lady is fine, but maybe the wife I married, if she gets to know that I have this money now, she will start thinking about extravagant. It's demanding.
Which happens.
It happens.
There are women that are whoa.
So if you're watching us right now, I wouldn't really know, or we wouldn't really know what case you are dealing with.
Yeah.
But ideally, the idea of marriage is, that's why when you're courting somebody you want to marry, when you are engaging in getting to know whoever you want to get married to, getting to know what they are made up of. Yes, she's physically beautiful, physically attractive, but beyond that, what is she made up of?
Traits.
Yeah.
Basically, the traits.
So,
because there's a trait you live with.
Is the character you live with.
Yeah, it's a trait you live with.
The character you live with.
The personality.
In fact, as you're talking, there's something I'm hearing. The beauty, the shape, the everything doesn't really speak to you as much as the character.
It's a character you will live with. The trait, sorry, it's a character. Traits, personality you live with. All the
physical features, everything.
Beautiful. Those are beautiful. But who will you live with? The personality.
Because a beautiful face, a beautiful physique can speak, and then you are angry.
Yes, now
the beauty is looking at you. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to bring out this thing I'm having, but it's not far from what you're saying. Not far from what you just said.
You see one beautiful couple. You're like, what happened? Why did they divorce? But this guy seems to understand himself. They seems to, when they speak, man, you will take notes. What is happening? It's about the traits. Can both traits live together? How are they supposed to live together without conflict or without perpetual? You know, some of the times people divorce, you ask them, what is the matter? They'll tell you, there's this popular word they use,
We're no longer.
irreconcilable,
They have irreconcilable differences.
irreconcilable differences. Now, for one to prevent irreconcilable differences, you ask yourself,
Irreconcilable differences.
can I live with this trait? Can I live with this personality?
So at what point does one ask this question? Is he in the marriage or before the marriage?
That's the thing. Because the truth is there. Very wonderful.
So it's
question.
realistic because
No, very realistic
why
and
this is very
very,
important.
very,
You know, it's very
very-
important. So that there's somebody who's watching now, maybe
Yes,
who's currently
yes.
dating somebody, in a
And who
relationship.
is like, yeah.
So if you're yet to be married, the best time to get to identify this trait
this
is
is
before you tie
actually
the knot.
now.
Before you tie the knot.
It's actually
Yeah.
now, yes. Majority of it is
Yes.
now.
Because when you come into it wrongly, you will not be doing what I would call
Hey,
damage
control.
So there are issues,
And
bad news every
sometimes
day.
some damage control don't
They are not- they don't end up well.
Don't end up well.
They don't end up well.
Before you know, you're exhausted, you're
Yeah.
tired.
Yes.
Too much
So
quarrel.
it's training the relationship.
It's training
every day.
the times people are supposed to have fun and enjoy yourself, moments of joy, memories that it's like, maybe before I marry this guy, I'd be like, marriage just come. I don't understand. It's and you see, Satan has so made it look like once they marry, ma'am,
Yeah.
and you see, it's not like, okay, no, let's just say boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Don't just go that area.
Exactly.
Once you go that area, it is problem.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, it's not supposed to be
It's not supposed to be so.
God didn't make it that way.
It's supposed to be so.
First of all, God is not a bad, He's not a wicked God. He's our Father. For everything He does, everything He created was supposed to be good. And they are good, including marriage. But because when it has to do with living with
Your
one
spouse.
another, living with somebody else different from you, that have a different character, have a different trait, that grew up from a different background. There is the knowing how to. There is the I should bother know. I have to learn. Not let's just do it, I love him, I like his face. Let's enter marriage. When we get there, we'll figure it out. There's nothing like figured it out too.
No.
Marriage is flower. Marriage is like a flower that if you don't pour water, dies. I'm talking about secrecy. It's one of the mistakes a lot of people do. They just come into marriage and they still want to behave the way they behaved before.
Yeah. They don't understand that, everything about you as a lady belongs to the man.
Exactly.
Everything about you as the man belongs to the lady.
Exactly.
Belongs to the wife.
A guy that is used to having 3 girlfriends wants to now get married. And he wants to continue having
Yeah.
3 girlfriends or maybe more.
Now-
So such guy will be passwording his phone now.
Exactly. Yeah, because all his life he has lived with there's
that
Nkechi,
appetite.
there's Nkechi,
He has
there's
groomed
Bimbo,
himself
there is
with that
Halima.
appetite. Even that times he will tell himself, okay, I will soon live this life. But what he doesn't know is that
He has been hooked into
he
it.
has been teaching his body, it's not an habitual thing. That if it's not part of him, it's now habits. It's not an
So-
appetite. So you see him go out. Sorry, sir. You see him go out. And you'll be wondering, the girl he's hanging around with, you look the wife. But this babe, no reach the wife.
Yes, in most cases.
Most cases, the wife, he's already used to it.
It's something he's used to because it's something he has programmed. That's why when people you see this platform, this channel, be sure you're going to hear Christian related values.
Sure.
God, the reason why God will put in His word and say don't fornicate, don't commit adultery, don't be promiscuous. It's because he's trying to save you, or he did that thing to save you, not that he's trying. He did it to save you from programming yourself wrongly. Anything you expose yourself to, you are getting drawn into it.
As in, you're getting so drawn. You keep telling yourself, don't worry, when I won't marry, I'm in charge. You're no longer in control. The thing is now in control.
The person is not aware that they're no longer in control.
No, you're no longer in control. This is now controlling you. Because over the years, you've widened your sexual appetite.
Imagine somebody that started doing this thing at 15.
Some
let me say
very
18.
young.
Yes, now 18.
Some quite young.
So you're doing this thing from 18 years back to back, and now you are 25.
And you look forward to having a happy home.
25, you're about to get married.
Yeah.
But you have all of the wrong programmings. Now,
all your appetite is, your eyes is like any hips or anything you are following up. But you want to be married and be happy.
So.
And you now expect wifey to understand.
Exactly. Now you're married now, and then maybe, of course, your spouse will not be with you. Now for the guy, your wife will not be with you. You go out and you see, look at this. You collect number, and you're chatting. So you see why. Coming back to the
secrecy,
because of what a programming that has happened to that individual.
Programming, yes.
He's now in the relationship where he's no longer. He's not aware. He's not even aware that this spouse of mine is actually me, and I am her. If you can see, this thing is spiritual and it's also mental. The Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Your mind has to be renewed. You have been programmed in the wrong way. So you're coming into marriage with that, and it's going to cause issues because if the guy is the one being secretive, the lady will not be happy.
There is no way she'll be happy.
Ask questions, she will want to challenge, and it is going to lead to a lot of things.
Same way the lady.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Both ways.
As a young lady, you're used to dating 10 men. You've had a lot of sexual activity with some, and you don't know that you've just roped yourself in you are now habitually, as in, by the time you now get married, by the time you get married, your husband will no longer be enough for you. You don't know that what's happening to you is so many exposure. So many people you've slept with, and now getting to you now have to not stay with one person, and before you know, there is once in a while cheating. Once in a while, maybe you see Mr. X. I saw my ex-boyfriend, and
you want to believe.
Before you know, there's not secrecy. You're chatting. Your husband say, "What's that?" No, nothing. You cannot tell him.
You can't openly talk about it.
You cannot openly tell him that I saw my ex, so because of what the intention, because
you know that your motives
you're
are
already
not pure.
romancing.
Your motives are not pure.
No, if you even use the word motive, it looks like the person is committing sin. And at that time, the person is doing it. The person is enjoying it because you already have an appetite that bros no go reach me. So you can't remember one boyfriend that guy. I remember when,
I remember how it used to be.
How it used to be. So you now suddenly see him. And you started, maybe once in a while, he says hi to you. You are enjoying all the high. Before you know, Oga will find out that there's something that is happening. And before you know, there's always the going out. But one day, it becomes a disaster.
Yeah. So now the reason why we're having this discussion is so that you don't, if you're somebody out there, you're already having these issues. Now, this is how it works. The truth of the matter is this: marriage is God's idea. Marriage is not the idea of Hollywood. It's not the idea of it's God's idea, and that's why a lot of times, if you cannot work, you can't buy a device. You buy an Apple iPhone, and then you want to use the iPhone the way Android, the way Samsung manufacture their phone. It won't work because they are not calibrated to work perfectly. So you have to understand that marriage is God's idea, and how has God structured it? Follow it that way. Now, okay, this issue is going on in the family, in the home. Question: as this now it is causing issues. Do you want to continue in this issue? Because what most people do is this: you say, "I beg, she did disturb me, Joe. She did disturb me, Joe." So
what exactly is she doing that you call disturbing you?
Because you don't understand that this deal, this relationship is you. Is it possible for you to divorce yourself? Because if you look at it, if you have this understanding, if you start seeing marriage for what
From
it
this
is,
angle,
you will now understand that I am my spouse is
is
me.
me.
So if you're not yet married, you're preparing to get married, I think you're watching this thing at the
Yeah,
right time.
yes,
So that you start, recalibrating your values. Start
Yes,
looking at
looking into
what you're
your
supposed to look
values, and
into.
whatever that needs to be out should be out. Whatever that needs to add,
Should add. Now, if
Should
the
be
person you're
added.
already seeing, you know that, because the truth of the matter is that don't go into marriage thinking you can change him or you can change her.
yes.
It's not ideal.
It's God that
The
changes,
Holy Ghost is the
actually.
one that has the power to change a man's life. So if you're trying to get your partner to see this and you're not seeing it, I think this is the best time to, you don't want to start facing issues in marriage. Yeah. Because when it starts, it blocks your mind to even know, because emotions are involved. Words are flying left and right. Words are flying from both parties, and what it does is heighten the tension. And what happens at the end of the day is that there's a snap.
The beautiful union becomes a disaster.
Becomes a disaster.
God made it. The marriage was supposed to be a beautiful union, just like the way, an ideal home of a father, mother, children is. Companionship, that was what made God. Companionship is a beautiful thing, but how come it now turned sour, so bitter? How did it get to that angle, that that place, that people that leads to a disastrous end?
That's good.
But you see, coming back to that secrecy, we're looking at these are the possible
Things that will
things
cause it,
that
right?
causes that. But then what is the
The remedy of this.
remedy?